On it first. I don't want to ignore. Davar bi'itay ma yafa. When a yid ignores, if there's a yamtiv and you ignore the yamtiv, you're oblivious to something. A yid lives the ma'agal hashana, the cycle of the year. There are things going on. I don't want to meet my friends tonight and ignore what's going on by our people. Because that would be weird. It would be very weird. Now we're capable. There are times the mishtachim b'tzara dilahaim b'askin b'chedves adili. I say here, this is sar d'shchina. This is when something's a Klal Yisrael Inyan. That's not sar dilahaim. That's a sugi of Am Yisrael. To have our people go through what we're going through today, to be sent coffins of Yidden back to Eretz Yisrael, I can't meet my friends and say on a separate note, this is. I can't ignore it. It wouldn't be very normal zach. I'm not looking to say any chidushim. Just to say we feel with our people. We feel with our people, the Am Yisrael. And a yid's precious. A yid's precious. Like a pasha to register, say macham, and a yid is precious. And I ran home to my son. Normally I would if he would go to the Russes. He has a loving aunt and uncle next door. I ran home. I left early. I davened b'yechidus. I didn't daven for the Amud in yeshiva that I always daven for the Amud. I ran home that I should be there off the bus. That was my protest. That I was clear for my son. He's not staying 10 minutes first till I get home. I want to be there right when he came home. Every yid is precious. Every yid, every single yid is precious. The tremendous, it's a chil Hashem neira. La Yari Aleikim, when Amalek attacks us, the Torah, Hashem's Torah calls it a Chil Hashem, with the Banim Lashem. That Yidden was that Yiddish should kindle Naira, really Naira, and I just want to express tefillas for Klal Yisrael. I want to express a tefillah to Hashem. We're His children, we're the Rebbeinu Shalom's children. He should take care of His children. We're Hashem's children. It's nair what's happening for our people, and we're mispaler for our people, for the safety of our people, for the nechama, Yeshua's for nechamas, for Gans Klal Yisrael. So I want to start. It's hard then you share together. I don't mean to kill joy or anything. I mean that Klal Yisrael is a matzah for a sorry liyankim, sorrow for our nation, for our people, and we're thinking about it. And we're mispaler for Yid, and mispaler tata to go through such a zach. Yid, he just got out of his own captivity, and to face this is Naira. There should be Besuras Taivas and Yeshua's and Nechamas for Kol Yisrael. That's what I wanted to start with. To teach people their emotional response, I don't. There's anger at the enemy, there's such a zach. There's just a tsar. But the attitude, we're very strong people. We're incredibly strong people. This guy Keith Siegel, a Yid, he's American, raised a family in Eretz Yisrael. His daughter, I heard an interview with his daughter these years, and his daughter said that in his life he never said Shema. That's her opinion. I don't know how do you know a Yid never said Shema? She holds her father never said Shema. In captivity, I heard his daughter, Shir Siegel said, my father started making mezainis in captivity in Gaza. He started making mezainis. He started making brachas. He started saying, and he started praying to Hashem. He started davening. And she said that we asked Tata for the first Shabbos, what do you want Friday night Suda? And we were expecting Tata to say, do you want lachmaniot? She speaks of Hebrew. Do you want lechem? They thought he'd want good chalot. Ugot ulai. She said, we suspected he just got out. The first Shabbos he was home. What do you want for Shabbos? Because there's a mishpach that didn't have Shabbos. She said her father never said Shema Yisrael. It's now Shabbos that he's become a God-fearing Yid. He makes Breimenei Mezainis. They said, what do you want for Shabbos? And she said, I thought he would say, I want ugot, chalot. Then he'll say, and we'll make whatever he wants. She said, I only have two. He said to his family, I have two things I want. If you want to fill my request, get me a kippah and get me a kois. I want to make kiddush. He said, get me a kippah. He said, Kaneli kippah, the Kaneli kos. I want to make Kiddush for Shams. That's what Keith Siegel. I heard this from his daughter Shir, not a rumor. His daughter Shir said to the interviewer that my father, I'm just telling you a fact about a Yid came home. He wants a yarmulke and a kais. The Yid wants to make Kiddush. That's our beautiful people. We're a big people, and the response to a tremendous lack of dignity, the cheapness of a Yiddish Adam, is that we're going to be more patient. We're going to become more patient with our children, with each other, with our friends, much more. Today I said I ran home for my son. That was to pay back. That's my revenge. And I want to say that I saw a bacher that I usually have less patience. I had much more patience for him today. Much. Like 1,000-fold the patience. They increased my patience for other Yidden. You touch a Yid, and I have more patience for Yidden. Now even that Yid that I maybe didn't have as much patience, I have 1,000-fold more patience. Don't touch our people. Sometimes two brothers fight. When somebody else touches the brother who they were fighting maybe even for years, it wakes something up. That's like a natural, an organic response. Don't touch our people. Every single Yid, everyone. We have no extras, not in our people. And mamish, our patience for our own children, for Yena's children, for Am Yisrael, a Yid. It arouses something in us to send home coffins to our people, to send back an older zakin is precious. Send back a zakin in a coffin. To send back two children, Hashem Yerachem, it's ma'ir something in us, a Yiddish kid. It's not cheap-ass. I don't know if it's called a macha, a reaction, a natural reaction, but I want to share it with my friends. We should be zeicha to have simchas, to have freilich times together, but we should see Aramas Karen Yisrael, restoration of the pride of Am Yisrael, the value of a Yid, of each and every Yid. I wanted to share something that's me'inyan, that's me'inyan this, that to give a chizuk. In our own homes, I think it'll be a chizuk. We study Elam Mishpatim, and for years I observed this. Moshe Chaim, Mishpatim fascinates me because you come off Maimed Har Sinai. Yisrael's Maimed Har Sinai. We're holding. We discussed. We saw that which is heard. We mamish when the shamas, and there's a certain. I don't want to say a come down because we'll discuss it. But Mishpatim, all of a sudden we come to like the Mishpatim. We know there are three categories of mitzvahs. V'chukim eidus ha-mishpatim. Chukim ha-mitzvahs. Eidus are the type of mitzvahs that we wouldn't do without Hashem commanding, but they make sense. Eidus is like the mitzvah of sukkahs in Eidus. It says something to us. It reminds us of something. Matzahs and Eidus. It's a category of mitzvahs. It's Chachmas Hashem. But we can hear it. There's a svara. The mind wraps it. Mishpatim we would keep if there was no Torah. Every society has mishpatim. For human beings to be together, there has to be law and order. Mishpatim, we would have mishpatim without the Torah right now. And after all the highs of Maimed Har Sinai, come to Elam Mishpatim, and it says, these are the laws, asher tasim lifneim. Now the word tasim and lifneim are funny words. Elam Mishpatim, these are the mishpatim. Tasim lifneim already like perks us up, and there's much written. Chazal, Rishonim, Achronim, Tasim, Lifneim is a very, Elam Mishpatim, and get to it. Let's get to the laws of Torah. But it says Tasim, Lifneim. Much has been written in Rishonim and Chazal and what Lifneim means. The simplest halach is you're not allowed to go to a Goyish court. Lifneim, you have to go to Jewish court. But it's like a pillar. What's wrong with going to Goyish court? These are svaras. These are money matters. The Goyim have like, it came out the same svara. It's not. Let's say the guy has the same svara, the same law we have, the same svara. Who owns the building, him or him? Straight up. Go to a Yiddish court. What's being said here? Now you could just tell we trust the Torah, we don't trust Goyim, we distrust the Goyim. I think there's something much deeper going on here. You have to go to a Yiddish court. You can't go to a Goyish court. I saw what I'm about to say in Svarim. I'm only not quoting because I have no right. It's too much filtered through the way I see it. So I can't quote. But it says Lifneim, not to go to Goyish court. Something's being said here. It's also anybody studies Torah Hashem. There's halacha, like this is the first halacha in Kabbalah Satira of the Mishpatim. Don't go to Goyish court. If I this is mishpat, this is the law. Two guys, whose house is it? If Fred decides or a Baruch decides, a big difference. Ela mishpat. Shetasim lefneim, don't go to Goyish courts. In Svarim it says that lefneia means the pneumius. Lefneia means to their pneumius. And Ela mishpatim shetasim lefneia means understand their pneumius. Lefneim. The pnim is the inner, and lefneim that you have to connect to it in an internal way. I'd like to speak about this a little bit. Somebody asked me, all this talk recently about souls, we're singing Peel Off the Klipa, Yeda Yid, has a neshama, is a neshama. You're talking such neshama-dika talk. To me, it's become clear in a Western society that this is one of the main sugyas of becoming a person, that we have to be yored to the neshama, that we're not just to see deeper than our physical bodies is like a pashat avoid of today. The Balatanya writes, it says the Yetzer Hara gets us to do, he can't get a yid to do Averis, he bases it on Chazal. He says that the Balatanya writes that the Yetzer Hara will get us to do a mitzvah for logical reasons, and even in a mitzvah will get a yid to think he's a behemoth. Even in a mitzvah, a yid will think he's like a behemoth. I want to give an example. I want to talk about Hatzalah and parenting, and mamish kifi, what's going on in the world. I want to express something. I want to talk about parenting and Hatzalah. I want to start with Hatzalah. People say Hatzalah, there's an ambulance corps, there's Hatzalah. By us, the whole decision to have Hatzalah I don't even think really that the Oimek Hadavar is their things aren't good enough. If what the Goyim have is the normal ishtadlus, since when do we do bigger ishtadlus? So why have Hatzalah? Since when do more ishtadlus? For the guy down the block, the ambulance company's enough. Now they don't come quick enough. You're not a Maimin Bashem. That's the norm. Since when do you? What's this Inyan of Hatzalah? And I once studied Rabbini, and I love Hatzalah. I've become in my life like Hatzalah's Kodesh Kodashim. You know what the Inyan of Hatzalah is? It's that you didn't stand up for each other. You know the you could get so megushim that you talk about it. It's dangerous. It's not to do with danger or not. You know the you know that we're alive to help another yid. You know the that there are people walk around waiting to run for another yid? That's what you have Hatzalah, because you didn't care about each other. Rabbeinu Yaina writes that every community should have groups that stand up to help another yid. When we become very physical, we see things. Do they come on time? Not. A yidden should help other yidden. I want to say even in raising children. I want to say this in raising children. I was zeicha this past Shabbos to be around some alumni of the yeshiva, and to see, we had a Shabbos that many mishpachas, and to see people raising their kids. We're zeicha in our kela. Baruch Hashem, beautiful mishpachas. It's extremely important, extremely. We're not a Ponzi scheme. What we live to raise from kids who raise from kids. Who's serving? Oh my, we serve. What's happening? To understand the kedusha v'tara, we're here to bring hashras hashchina, give Hashem a dir b'tachtonim. You know the kedusha when a father takes care of his son. The whole world was clear. That's the real chesed. The Western world is an attack on emeskite. There's very chitzonistic of you. You know what it means? A father wakes up 6 a.m. and takes care of the whole world. That's the chesed of the Welt. To the world, the further away you go, that's like chesed. If you help the Rwandans, you're mamish bal chesed. Unsere Welt, no, that's only pouring out of the ikr chesed of the tata with his son. The ikr, the chesed to the bnei bayis. A husband does a chesed to his wife is the biggest zach in the world. There's a tremendous kedusha, there's godliness. We become so physical, it's only like in terms of, we become very physical. You know the tremendous, Hatzalah guy goes on a call that should be shaking, a yid's helping up. We could see this, we're capable. When we have the right einayim, we just see yidden running for the yidden, it's like lo yu'umin. It's la yu'umin. It's not a physical story. We get so caught up. Eila mishpatim asher tasim lifneim. Don't take mishpat harkoi shel goyim. Don't view it as an external. The guy could. We view monistic of things as big iris, big zachin going on. We don't get caught up in the physical. That's the oimek. That's the pneumius atayra of not going to Arkay Shalgaim. To go to Arkay Shalgaim is decide, is it his, I'm like, Lord, they're looking from a physical perspective. We're coming from a very pneumistic perspective. Go to a Yiddish Shadayim, go to the Rav. Is it Hiddal? Go to the Rav. Go to the Rabbanim. Find out from them. These are spiritual zachen. The ganze Welt we see like this. B'dafka by mishpatim. Chazal say ve'ela. Rashi brings the Chazal. Just like the first ones are Messinai, this is also Messinai. I think this is the oimik. What everybody asks. What's being said? Chiddush. Just like those were at Sinai ve'ela. Eilas Paisler Shainim, Ve'elas Maisif. These are also Messinai. What's being said about Dharma? At our Sinai, we were taught Torah. There's a deep oimek that Mishpatim was at Sinai also, was speaking to the Neshamas. It was deep zachin. In the physical, we see things. All the physical is all an experience of the Neshamas here. We don't view the tat that takes care of his son is big iris are happening here. There's stories, there are very many famous stories with tzaddikim. I'll tell you one story. A true story. There's an emistik amaisa. There's an isha chashuva who for 15 years, before this lady found Yiddishkeit, found Avodas Hashem, she was grada near us. She was in a forest near us. She was looking for Hashem, doing wild zachen. She didn't know about Yiddishkeit. And then she found Yiddishkeit. She was in her upper 30s. And she was a person davening 10 hours a day. I'm told she was serving Hashem in serious, I found him. Serious. And she just got married 38, 39. And she had it sad not to have children. Start changing diapers. She had big shyness. So she had it sad not to have children. That she wants to serve Hashem. She was being Oived Hashem, Yom V'Layla. She'll start changing diapers. So she was close to the Amshinava Rebbetzin. And she went to the Rebbe, she got an appointment to the Amshinava Rebbe to ask him, to speak to him. She was a serious servant of Hashem. She went to him, she had an appointment 2, 3 in the morning. That's when he was available. And she came in to ask her Shaila. She was shaking the Amshinava Rebbe, Kodesh Kadashim. She went in to ask him the Shaila 2, 3 in the morning. He had an anacle on his lap. When she walked in, he didn't know what she was going to add. Garnished. She comes there. He was cooing with his ankle on the lap, playing, cheering him up. When you see MS, she walked in. She said, "Yes." She said, "I have no questions." She left and had 2 children. She's 2 beautiful children. She left. There was no questions anymore. It didn't need to be addressed. Sometimes to see something, Hailing, she saw Zayda playing with his ankle. She had no question. There was nothing to ask. There was nothing. It was like garnished. He was sitting there at 2 in the morning. He's playing the ankle. He's babysitting somehow. And he was mamish. She saw Avaida. She saw the Ar. There was no Shaila. Ask what? What do you want to ask? I have told my wife in what I felt. It's Yom Kippur. It's Yom Kippur. None of us, Yom Kippur, the Amaratzim of old on Shabbos didn't tell lies. Chach on Yom Kippur, you're careful. I remember leaving my house Yom Kippur and telling my wife, I'm going to shul. I'm going to mamish, be shuckling. And you're home running around with the kids. You look much more at the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur than me. He was handling with dam. He was like busy mishing around with dam. When you're changing, when you're involved getting messy, you're a lot more similar to the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur. We're not lost in a physical veld. We see iris. We see deep zachen. Even on mishpatim that others see. Okay, it's a moment. We see big things. We see deep and big things of neshamas in this world. To the guy, you might see it as a very physical experience. That's not how we see things. To the point that the Tanya says that the Yetzer Hara will get us to do a mitzvah and get us physically. That was important. Not to see the Or. You could see with Atzalah. The Yetzer Hara will get Atzalah. Remember, it's okay, you have to help the guy. You don't want anything bad. It's not too gufim. There's big iris here. A yid ran for another yid. The ganze Welt stands on it. Chesed is one of the amudim le'om. The whole world, Hashem should have a dir b'tachtainim. Look at the chinuch on the mitzvah of Prika in this week's parsha. The chinuch on the mitzvah frika, check it up. He speaks about that the purpose of the world is to be doimet Hashem. And to inculcate the tsar of another yid. We started today speaking about the tsar of yidden. That's the mitzvah deraisa of frika. Another yid, that whole atzalas, the tsar of another yid, is a deer b'tachtoin. There's godliness right there. That was mamish and ar. You watch on Shabbos, you can get nervous. You hear the crackling of that atzalah. Every guy should turn to this. Like point. There's like shechina there, tremendous iris. A yid, you know what that means? That yid has when a yid has that thing he's saying, it's crazy what they do. That means that his Frankfurter, he puts any yid tsar before his Frankfurter. The R of that, he's in the middle of a good barbecue. He runs out. That's what that thing says. It has an announcement. Things talk. We don't say a physical zach. It says, I put another yitzhar before my comfort. That's what it says. You're crackling in shul. It's the Moshe Shabbosdik. It's saying, I put another yitzhar before my comfort. That's what Atzal. It's big zach. And when somebody gets so physical, stop seeing. We see that which others hear. It's real by us. A father, by the way, father could take care of his kid. A guy could be like frustrated. He could be like a bacher told me about his father that he learns at rest stops. Every time a stoplight, he learns traffic light. But he said he doesn't smile at his kids. He's very not warm to his children. He got lost. He doesn't see that which is heard. It's so sad. Hazam Masmer, it's a beautiful zach. He learns at every traffic light. But he has to smile at his kid also. Stop getting lost in physical. Smile at the kid. You know the ahur you're bringing down. You're a learner of Torah. Smile at your kid. Hold your kid. Pick him up. Pavel, catch. I see Gabriel and catch with his kids. You seem like it's ne'ilah mamish. I remember once going with my kids sledding, and I felt the kedush of ne'ilah. One time, I don't say always you feel that way. If you're in the right zone, you take your kids and a father, you're bringing godliness to the world. Kipshutai, ne'ilah's kodesh kadashim. You're bringing godliness to the world. The nekuda, tata to my children. Something you're bringing an art to this world, a beautiful art. We're neshamadik people. We don't. Eila mishpat meshatasim lifneim. Yiddish. We go to Yiddish courts. We look at the physical different than them. Much. We have Atzal. Atzal is not like a quicker way because you didn't care, but other Yidden, we're here like to take care of another Yid. The Aris of Atzal brings to the world is Lo Yu'umin Ki Yisupar. Somebody brings to the world an Ar that it takes a long time to study Rebbeim. I told you in my house, my father respected singers. It didn't do it. I'm so physical. I'm seeing a guy singing, he's jumping around as a singer. My father saw his Misameach Yidden. He saw like a tremendous art. Singers were like, he saw the art. It's Pasha, it's a big art. He studied Torah. He was like, he learned the Gemara Tainis that a Ben Oil Mabaz, Misameach Yidden. There's an art to that. It's not, a person gets lost. He's singers and jugglers. And if a guy's Misameach Yidden, a guy tells Geschmacke jokes and shul. I'm not talking about during davening. Nach that the kiddush, a guy says good jokes in shul. He's the world's created for him. He's misameach yid. He uplifts and brings a warmth, brings a positivity. If you get lost in physical, so you see what's it worth? I don't know. You see even a Ponzi scheme of people caring for their kids because that we're here to bring this art, this beautiful art. It's not just a father is not just for the end game of, okay, I'm hoping for nachas. There's like a lot of manipulations. If I'm a good father, he'll be from. He'll be from because neshamas are from you. The worst father ever will be from, and you can't hurt a neshama. That's not the energy of being good to a neshama. Like they teach you, go to the latest class, so you could push it, manipulate out that maybe he'll give you a nachas. That's not what's happening. There's a tremendous honor in being a tata. Your father were born for chesed. The world, I made. To me, it's such a superficial view of parenting. This aids that trick. You're a tata. You're a tata. You know the that you bring. When a father says to me, I told the Chaver, father once said, I'm taking my kids skiing. What should I ask for? His is a business, such a chitzoniistic view. The ski. A father takes his son skiing. He's putting godliness. No, my son. He looks at his son. I see Reb Mendy with his son. That's a tremendous R on this Welt. Tremendous. By the way, the Goyim are not having families, not having children. It all lies here. They don't see in the Pu'ulis. If you only see what could be, Nachas, okay, so who could hold that? It's nothing. They're missing out on the etzem ar of a parent taking care of a child is a tremendous ar. I was on the plane, the Varen's Mishpacha. And I saw he did a family vacation to Mishpacha. There's a tremendous art in the Mishpachas, like focusing on each other. Some of his children, his younger children, there's a tremendous light. That's a emes kazach. That's not. I think about my father's trips with us. It's a big iris, very big iris. It wasn't like he had a geschmack a chap. His kids are going to be from like you missed the whole sugya of you're seeing so gashmistic. You're so physical like that. It's a tremendous art. The Tata and his son, what he's unleashing to the Welt. This is the real chesed of the world, the father being there for his son. That's like the deepest chesed, a father unleashing chesed. Goimel nafshe, we quote the pas, Goimel nafshe ish chesed. The world's here for chesed. The iris Avram Avinu brought to the world because he did chesed. The ikr of chesed chazal. The Torah means what it says. You study any halachas of tzedakah and chesed. It starts from the home. Of course it extends. It starts in the bias. And there's a tremendous ar and a chiyus. If we have good einayim, if we're influenced by the goyim, if we bring our stuff to our kais, so you had the zach is just like a physical thing. You miss the whole story. You just see who's quicker, you time them. That's quicker, slower. They're an ar of people caring for each other. That's always wild that we have such an ar in our world of yidden who run for another yid. I like when I see at some members they band over this ar. You see, you could go to a shalom place. We need kosher to be open late. I want to see, I like in Brooklyn, go late once after a chasna, go to a deli place and you see all that solo guys eating shalom together. The holy Yisrael, they all should eat shalom together. The holy Yidden to eat shalom together. Yidden, all of them share a band that they make themselves uncomfortable for other Yidden. Beautiful people. We have to understand that about chesed, about all mishpachas. I want to say it specifically today. I wanted to say this tonight and today, that Am Yisrael suffered a tremendous suffering. I want to say about our children, that we could have a much bigger chiyus in the whole thing. They're not ploys to have from our children. They're simply a big art, that's the ikar of chesed. So we wake up at night for a kid, we schmooze late, one of our kids is having that's the ikar chesed, to bring a simcha. We talk about coming to shul to bring a simcha. A ben Ayla bringing simcha, how about to his own children? I speak to children, is their home a happy place? Straight up, an honest way, is it a freilich place? Straight up, and it's not a trick, because it's such a home. No, because that's chesed, the ikar of chesed. See, he's busy. Make sure it's not like there could be like a whole motive. A generation who's very into like, well, if my parents do this, it's dangerous. I'm not talking about a place of fear. That's not the energy of a good chinuch. And I see Moshe, this kids, it's not like, well, otherwise be very careful. If you say this, you might, and people worry when he's 24, I don't want my kids to say about me, he pushed me up. Forget all that. Forget that on the shamas go to Hashem. Don't worry. Stop being so. And if you're worried, okay, so worried, that's not such a bad zach. You're worried, you're not worried. That's not the energy of the chesed in the home. The energy is that we unleash an unleashing of kindness. So our kids come home, there's a hug, there's a smile. It's not like, because otherwise I'm nervous they won't be from. What's supposed to do with anything? It's just the chesed that I unleash. The ikar chesed of our life, godliness, that I can mamish make. And I took, lo nivra adam elohayel achriti. We're created to help another person. Kid comes home and there's a smile and a hug and a gishmaka drink. Take care of him, because we unleash godliness. Nothing to do with any fears, because if I say the wrong, there's no shaykhs. Like literally none. That like fears and zach, and then the shamas find Hashem, they make their way, they work their way to Hashem. We see the shamas go to Hashem. That's not the energy. That takes away, that's like literally that mishpatim's by our koy shel goyim. Mishpatim by our courts, because we see ruchnius, because we see iris, it goes to the Rav. Unzer and mishpat goes to the Rav, goes to the tzaddik. Because we see in the physical, what they see as only physical, we see as big iris. It's the truth what I'm saying, it's the truth. It took me years. Yitzchak could be made. I'm not a pretend. I try not to be a pretend person. That it was a while. It took me to see Atzal in a primistic oifen. Today, Atzal is like, I stand like any rally. I'm in to support, to help bring support to it. It's like an gadol, an unleashing of chesed that you didn't care about each other, and it's wild. It's a wild organization. I wasn't paid by Atzal or asked by Atzal to speak or told. I don't think we're making appeals for Atzal. There'll be no yarmulke handed out shortly. But I wanted to say this today. I wanted today when there was a degradation of a yid. When our people is seeing difficult things, I wanted to say this. I want to say, let's unleash. Let's wake up. Let's be mechazik. And our own child, give an extra hug, extra patience, extra kiss, extra focus. Not because any worries, mamish not. Because there's an there's a little kid. It was ma'ir, and to me it was ma'ir, a tremendous ava for my children, for the children of Am Yisrael, the precious children. Whatever was intended by the enemies, I don't care. But I do care. I do care. The Rebbeinu Shalom, something happened to us. What it brings out, I had patience for somebody today I don't usually have patience for. I had extra patience. I saw a child, no child. I'm taking kids out of the coffin. So I say to all of us this Shabbos to unleash more patience, more ava, more care, more notice, a better smile. Stop, the kids come happier. Let's make our house a little bit happier, a little more fair. Put up the music. I made a Kabbalah. Then this year I'm not allowed. My wife and I made a decision: more music in the home. We weren't the type in the music. There should be music playing. It should be freilich. You could do it with music, without music. Maybe we could do a little more chesed, a little more ava, and for not because we're scared, because we want to unleash godliness. Because chesed, why shouldn't chesed like permeate our house? The kid comes home and feels such an ab. Where's chesed begin? It's down there. We don't hold the ikar of the unleashing of the ashras hashchina. You talk about a home that has tremendous urs, a tat who is present, who's doing chesed to the mishpacha. Goyim al nafshe is chesed. So I wanted to share this with the chevra. Let's be mispalel Yitzchak. Let's be mispalel. Yitzchak sang a song that hit home on the Vani b'chastcha b'tachti. I think we can say amidst the difficulty, a difficult day for our people, b'chastcha b'tachti. We're people who are b'teach in the chesed Hashem. We could even sing it amidst tzaras, terrible tzaras. Maybe that's. B'chazdecho, b'tavoti, hivavani, b'chazdecho, b'chazdecho, v'tavti nachamo, v'ani, b'chazdecho, oy b'chazdecho, v'tavti, v'ani, oy b'chazdecho, b'chazdecho, v'tavti, yavage, libi, libi b'shuasecha, yavage, libi, Yahweh.